There have been rumors about an all-new Bleach console game for as early as December 2023. This was back when fans had spotted a trademark filed by Shueisha Inc. in Europe for an all-new game called BLEACH Rebirth of Souls. It was speculated that this may be a PC console game, but there were doubts amongst fans that this may just be yet another mobile game. So this trademark for BLEACH Rebirth of Souls was filed on the 27th of December 2023. Not much else was revealed until Kubo had told fans to tune in to the Bandai Namco Summer Showcase, which is going to be held today at Anime Expo. So with everyone waiting for the Bandai Namco Summer Showcase, leaks had started to emerge on Twitter about this all-new announcement. So the video game news website Gematsu had spoken about how the official Kubo and staff account has basically confirmed that a new Bleach game will be appearing at the Bandai Namco Entertainment panel at Anime Expo 2024 later tonight. And this coincides with Shueisha recently trademarking BLEACH Rebirth of Souls, which may well be the title of this new game. So then we ended up getting more leaks which revealed that BLEACH Rebirth of Souls has been data mined by a Twitter user, and apparently this game will be released on the PS4, PS5, the Xbox Series X and S, as well as on Steam. Now this game appears to be a 3D arena fighter. So in addition to this, we got our first glimpses of how this game is going to look like via the still images that were leaked online. So you've got this one of Ichigo battling against Renji, and it appears to be in Karakura town. So it seems as though Ichigo has striked Renji and he has just blocked it with his Zanbakudo. In this second leaked still image, you've got Ichigo with his Bankai Tensa Zangetsu, as we see some sort of flames or particle effects in the background, and you can just see the detail on Ichigo's character model here, and these stills were released before the Bandai Namco Showcase event. So we even had this promotional image of Ichigo which appears to be in-game, along with this logo, BLEACH Rebirth of Souls. So that logo there is stylized in the way that the manga volume titles have been stylized, so it's on brand with Kubo's design aesthetic there. Then you've got this in-game model of Ichigo in his Tensa Zangetsu Bankai attire. In this second preview still image, we get to see a bit more of the background scenery, along with Rukia as a playable character, as she is firing off a Kido Blast against Renji. Now from the entire background and the scenery and the space that the characters appear to be able to move around in, it does appear to be a arena fighter upon initial inspection. What's even strange is this color palette that's been used, which has given the entire night sky this green overlay, along with Hueco Mundo's reverse crescent moon present within the skies of the world of the living. I wonder if this background stage has something to do with the story of BLEACH Rebirth of Souls, whether if this game is going to be having its own console exclusive story where possibly Hueco Mundo has merged somehow with the world of the living, or if BLEACH Rebirth of Souls is just going to be retelling the story of the manga and this playable stage is just a design choice by the game developers. But here at least you can see Rukia as a playable character, and it seems as though they have incorporated Kido spells into a skill set. And then you've got these billboards in the background, and I think that does appear to be the silhouettes of the Vizards over here. So yeah, before we were shown anything at the Bandai Namco Entertainment Showcase, all of this was leaked on Twitter. This entire announcement had come from nowhere because we were only really expecting new information about Bleach over the weekend, with Saturday Bleach having an Anime Expo panel, and then on Sunday 2 new previews being dropped. But now from Friday to Sunday we've got 2 preview trailers, a new key visual, along with the preview of the opening and ending for Core 3, possibly a release date for Core 3, and now this all new Bleach console game that's been announced. So without further delay, here is everything that was revealed at the Bandai Namco Summer Showcase for the all-new console Bleach game that all of you have been so desperately waiting for. So the Bandai Namco Showcase revealed information and trailers for several different anime games, but eventually the final segment of the showcase had revealed to us the highly anticipated BLEACH Rebirth of Souls trailer reveal. So the trailer begins with these absolutely stunning visuals of Karakura town with the rain pouring. We see different areas like these street signs, then this baby in a stroller with an umbrella over it with the rain pouring in the back, and then once again these traffic lights. And while all of this is going on, we hear Ichigo's voice narrating the poem from Chapter 0, Side A The Sand, where he speaks about his desire to wield a sword powerful enough to shatter fate. Then we see these amazing visuals of Karakura town, and again in the corner this is footage that is still under development. So this is the Karakura town playable fighting stage. It looks absolutely amazing with the really realistic lighting in the background from the sun, and all of this is just packed with really recognizable areas from the anime and the manga. We then see Ichigo stood there in a school uniform. Okay, then we see the night sky of Karakura Town, which hints at the playable stages probably having a day and night cycle. So these visuals look absolutely stunning with the text. It really fits the aesthetic of the manga. We then see this ominous visual of the hollow Fishbone D stood there on the nighttime streets of Karakura Town, as then events from chapter 1 of the Bleach manga begin to play out as Ichigo confronts the hollow, only to be then protected by Rukia. So yeah, these are scene for scene recreations from the manga. There you go, Rukia protecting Ichigo. Then of course Rukia sharing her powers with him as he then becomes a Shinigami. That's amazing. You've got Ichigo's substitute Shinigami badge there that he's wielding, and these text animations are so cool. So Tite Kubo's involved, original story, Tite Kubo, Shueisha Weekly Shonen Jump. There we have our first proper visual of Ichigo, and then Uryu, Orihime, Kon. There's the hollow, the Grand Fisher. So it's at least confirmation that the substitute Shinigami arc is going to be adapted into this game. So Bleach game project, and there's this stunning visual of Ichigo in his Shikai attire. So the game's produced by Bandai Namco Entertainment. And then Ichigo in his Bankai as he's charging up a red Getsuga. The close-up visuals look amazing. Everybody just looks really on model. I mean, this shot of Ichigo looks awesome. So Ichigo's a playable character, Rukia is playable. So the sound composer is revealed to be Takeharu Ishimoto. Now this man has quite a resume as he's worked on legendary games like Final Fantasy X, along with Kingdom Hearts, and even one of my favorite games, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, as he has helped to compose the music for these great titles. And it seems as though he's now lending his talent to the Bleach Rebirth of Souls game, and his name already guarantees that this game's going to have a killer soundtrack. So then we've got this visual of Uryu, who I'm guessing is also playable, and Chad is also a playable character in the game. Then you've got Renji too. They're Byakuya versus Ichigo there in their first confrontation, Rukia being taken to the Soul Society, and this is amazing. Old Man Zangetsu appearing behind Ichigo. This is during Ichigo's battle against Kinpachi. So substitute Shinigami arc confirmed. So there you've got Ichigo with his hollow mask here. This is from Ichigo versus Byakuya at the end of the Soul Society arc. And there Ichigo's Bankai. This is scene for scene recreations from the manga. I love these text animations. Pierce through your limits. So there's Byakuya's Bankai, Zenbon Sakura Kageyoshi, Soul Destruction, overturn the tide of battle. So Soul Destruction appears to be a mode within the game which I'll talk about later. So that's Renji versus Uryu there. Yoruichi also playable in the game. So Urahara also makes an appearance. The game looks absolutely amazing. The visuals are stunning. Ichigo's hollow mask. Wow, just the visual effects. Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I cannot believe this has finally been announced. And then hollow Ichigo there in the back distorted. Everything just goes crazy. So Bleach Rebirth of Souls is coming soon. No release date, but it's going to be available on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, on Steam also. And again, this game is there to commemorate the anime's 20th anniversary. So the panel then invited on 4 individuals closely linked to this game. So we have Katsuaki Suzuki, who is the game producer, and then Keiichiro Takahashi, who is from Weekly Shonen Jump, and then 2 individuals from Studio Pierrot, who are also here to show their support for Bleach Rebirth of Souls, as well as adding some comments on how Studio Pierrot is involved with this game. So we learned that the anime staff is involved with the production of this game, and Bleach Rebirth of Souls is a fighting action game, and it supports local multiplayer 1 to 2 players, along with online play with up to 2 players. So there is a mechanism within this game that allows you to make a massive comeback when you're in a battle. So say if you're being really beaten up and you're about to lose, there is this mechanism called Soul Destruction, which then totally turns the tide of battle, as we'll then probably see a epic cutscene that is reminiscent of the anime and the manga, and via these epic moments we'll be able to turn the tide of the battle and hopefully keep things really exciting. So during this event, the staff on stage were really paying a massive emphasis on the graphics, with the graphics of Ichigo's character model really complementing the scenery. Then the game devs really wanted fans to experience the world of Bleach in the best quality possible in this new game. That you have this shot again of Karakura Town, and a point has been made that the team from Studio Pierrot had helped with the development of the game, and it seems like the color scheme used in the new anime has been brought forward to the Rebirth of Souls game. This just really helps to keep everything really consistent, as you can clearly see the anime's color aesthetic in these still screenshots. So we're getting images on screen of battle stages, along with some images that we've spoken about earlier and some entirely new ones, like this one of Uryu utilizing one of his moves. Then Ichigo in his Bankai attire clashing against Renji here in Karakura Town. So in terms of the visuals for the game, they were made by consulting Studio Pierrot again, so that fans have the most authentic experience of Bleach. So they really worked hard to create immersive backgrounds for the game, and they've been created in a way so that the 3D characters on screen look way more realistic. And the anime staff, when they were shown how Rebirth of Souls looks like, they were also super impressed by what they have seen, and there's just a lot of hype about this new Bleach console game. So most importantly, this game does have a story mode, as we see iconic visuals from the Bleach story recreated for this game. So this is the very first Bleach game in quite a while, so the developers wanted to take us back to the very beginning of the story, and the developers on stage mentioned that they have thought up of multiple creative ways in order to include interesting 1 versus 1 fights over all of the different story arcs of Bleach. Now in terms of the background information about this game, there have been rumors and speculation about a Bleach console game for quite a long time now, as the staff on stage revealed that Kubo kind of messed up a little bit because he has been involved with the development of this game, but when a fan from Club Outside had asked Kubo a question about a console game in an earlier Q&A, Kubo had accidentally spilled the beans on the development of this game early. Kubo had thought that an announcement had already been made, so in his answer he kind of hinted that something is in the works. So fans were teased really early on about this new Bleach console game. So as is the case with all of the modern day Bleach stuff, Kubo is involved here and he is supervising very important parts of the game's story so that it remains faithful to the manga. So as the panel wraps up, we are told that in a future Kruby Inside event there will be more gameplay shown to us of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, and the dev team are working really hard in order to create a super enjoyable Bleach game. They also urge everybody to go and follow the game over on Twitter or X on the handle bleach_game_en. Over there they're going to be revealing the latest information about the game's roster. So yeah, go and check out the official Twitter page for Bleach Rebirth of Souls and definitely give them a follow. For additional clarification, Anime News Network also made this post about how Bleach is getting a new 3D arena fighting game, as Bandai Namco Entertainment describes the game as focusing on the sword fighting that is inherent to the Bleach series. Again, we have listed all of the platforms that it will be available on. The game's story and characters will cover the original manga from the Substitute Shinigami arc up to the Arrancar arc, so there's the clarification there. Bandai Namco Entertainment did not reveal a release date for the game, but they did note that the 20th anniversary of the Bleach anime had inspired the development of the game, and this is really the key information that we know about Bleach Rebirth of Souls. So you can see the reaction on Twitter. Everybody has been waiting for this day. Aaron Yoro saying that this looks like it rivals Sparking Zero. Bleach fans actually won today. This looks amazing. Bleach Rebirth of Souls is already my game of the year. If you just look at these stunning visuals here of Old Man Zangetsu and Ichigo, then Hollow Ichigo of course, Byakuya's Bankai, and then Rukia of course with her Shikai. Yeah, this is honestly an amazing time to be a Bleach fan. So with this game being announced as an arena fighter, fans are understandably not wanting this to be a repeat of the disappointing arena fighter Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. I really hope that the game is not just another generic anime arena fighter that Bandai Namco is churning out for every series. It does really look like a lot of love and attention is being poured into this game, and what's reassuring is that Kubo is involved with the development of the game. At the moment, we have the mobile game Bleach Soul Resonance, which is still going to be released sometime this year or next year, and that game really does feel like a console game for mobile devices. So we've got that on one side to look forward to, and now we've got this entirely new console game Bleach Rebirth of Souls. This game promises to finally give fans a modern Bleach console game for the first time since Bleach Soul Resurrection, which was released back in summer of 2011. Yes, this was over 13 years ago for the PlayStation 3. This does feel really surreal because for years fans have supported the mobile game Bleach Brave Souls, proving that there is still demand for a new Bleach game that fans will pour their time into. So what do you guys think about this all new trailer for the very first console Bleach game in over a decade? Bleach Rebirth of Souls looks promising in my opinion, and I'm really looking forward to talking about it more on the channel in the coming months. Hopefully we'll be covering more announcements about the game via the Kruby Inside events that are yet to come, so definitely continue the discussion about the game in the comments, and I'd love to read about what all of you think. And lastly, thank you for making it to the end of this huge Bleach news video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the big Bleach panel at Anime Expo 2024, because we are going to be getting our first preview of BLEACH 1000 Year Blood War Core 3. So subscribe to the channel, stick around, because this is just the first piece of BLEACH information in a weekend that's going to be packed with way more BLEACH updates and news. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.